ISTP weaknesses. 7 struggles of being an ISTP. The ISTP is one of the 16 MBTI personalities and comprises part of the temperament group known as the Artisans, which also includes the ESTP, ESFP and ISFP types. The ISTP has been dubbed many things such as the mechanic, virtuoso and tactical crafter. They are introverts noted for their prowess with tools and machinery and working with their hands. There are a number of strengths and advantages associated with this type, but there is also a number of challenges and weak points as well. Here is a look at 7 of the struggles and weaknesses associated with the ISTP personality type. 1. ISTP conscientiousness. The ISTP personality is prone to display a lack of conscientiousness because they, by and large, are more concerned with tending to their own interests than that of others. Their obligations and responsibilities can often take a backseat to their personal priorities. While they do enjoy helping others and derive gratification from the appreciation they receive, ISTPs may not always be counted on to follow through on their offer and agreement to help. They are highly willful and tend to operate on their own schedule, which may change on a whim. ISTPs are often preoccupied with their own projects and agendas, so much so that they can often forget or outright abandon many responsibilities they are not interested in doing. 2. Expressing how they feel. ISTPs are very private individuals and tend to maintain a certain emotional distance, holding a lot of their feelings inside. Like the INTP, ISTPs desire to be very self-reliant. They have difficulty and little interest in articulating what they feel to others and prefer to process and figure things out on their own. This can make it difficult for loved ones and romantic partners to feel closer to them and consequently rob them of the level of emotional intimacy and disclosure often desired in relationships. When ISTPs erupt emotionally, it can often come as a surprise because they can conceal so much of the brewing tension bottled up inside. Letting down their guards and letting people in for better understanding is a challenge for them because it threatens their sense of self-sufficiency. ISTPs tend to believe that they can fix their own problems without the help of outside intervention. 3. ISTP insensitivity. ISTPs scarcely want to deal with their own feelings, let alone that of others. As a TI-DOM type, they are highly preoccupied with their own thoughts and intentions, and thus can exhibit insensitivity and obliviousness with regard to other people's feelings. ISTP is a type who favors facts over feelings and will thus generally dispense their opinions and judgments, with less regard for how they might affect people's feelings. The inferior FE of both INTP and ISTP suggests a propensity for social faux pas and offenses caused both intentionally and unintentionally. When it comes to dealing with people, learning the rules and best practices for interpersonal harmony poses a steeper learning curve for them. 4. ISTP self-isolation. ISTPs are very comfortable with solitude. If they were imprisoned, solitary confinement would be more of a vacation than a punishment. At any rate, ISTPs can get too comfortable in their isolation, and this can stunt their social life and create a wedge in their relationships. Withdrawing into themselves too much can become a problem and lead to the disintegration of their bonds with others. As comfortable as it can be to not deal with people, even introverts need a healthy dose of human interaction to keep them psychologically balanced. Sometimes ISTPs can be their own worst enemy, and the occasional helping hand of another can pull them out of an unhealthy loop or self-sabotaging pattern of thinking. 5. Following rules. ISTPs can be mavericks in the casual way they sometimes ignore and wantonly flout rules and procedures. They tend to find many rules annoying and bothersome, and their view of authority is less than deferential. When ISTPs want to do something, rules can often serve only a minor deterrence. ISTPs are likely to think it better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. The stubborn insistence on doing what they want and having their way can extend to insubordination and clashes with authority, which are likely a major source of the trouble that ISTPs find themselves in. 6. Long-term commitment. ISTPs want to live like a running river, flowing fast and free over and around obstacles on a path with lots of interesting twists and turns, and covering a variegated span of terrain. They do not want to be like the still waters of a stagnant lake. For ISTPs, many forms of commitment can feel like just that or have the effect of stultifying their freedom in some way. Because of their willful nature, ISTPs are susceptible to breaking promises or not following through on commitments once they become restless or when something of interest comes up. To that end, the commitments that ISTPs make tend to be highly conditional, and so expectations of them should include a lot of latitude and flexibility. 7. Academics. ISTPs tend to experience difficulty in traditional classroom settings. As a type who prefers hands-on styles of learning, the abstract subjects of the typical education program tends not to stimulate them. Consequently, ISTPs will often underperform at school because of their difficulty focusing. School children of this type are more likely to be diagnosed with ADD and ADHD than other types. ISTPs desire education with an element of physical activity, working with their hands and developing practical skills for a practical purpose. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Tell us what you think in the comments. And please subscribe to this channel.